I try to get in our guys' heads now because we're doing the civil, the pipe, the concrete. So anything we can do with a concrete crew or a pipe crew to help out the civil or vice versa, it benefits the company overall. I always hated, oh, we have a concrete division or we have a pipe division. No, we don't. We have a company that does pipe and we do concrete work. Don't call it a division because we don't want to have it divided. We want to work as a group, as one entity. And you get people out here that they're just here for a paycheck. You get very, if you get a guy that enjoys putting pipe in or doing concrete work, I always say if the company doesn't take care of him, he's going to go find somebody that will take care of him.
Got chilly. Hello everybody, welcome back to the BuildWitt vlog. Today we are outside of Atlanta, Georgia. I think we are west of town, downtown Atlanta. We are checking out yet another commercial development, another warehouse project. They're moving over 1 million yards out here for, I think it's 3 different warehouse pads. We see a lot of these. I don't know if it's good, bad. They're just building them absolutely everywhere. Atlanta is no exception. This is a huge area. It needs a lot of big concrete boxes to support the population. So this job is being run by David Jumper, which is Eric Jumper's dad, which is why we're here. Works for North Georgia Pipeline. That's the company doing the earthwork for the general contractor.
We're going through 40,000 gallons a month in fuel. Just crazy.
I didn't know fuel was a problem.
It's not a problem getting it. It's the problem of getting a driver to bring it here. That's where their drivers are quitting on a weekly basis because they found a job that pays $1 more someplace else. It's like everything. I mean, it's the same. We have 12 trucks. 5 scrapers. I think there's 6 excavators and 6 dozers.
How are the scrapers doing?
They're just about done. We've just about moved all the overburden we could. We're done. Just about all the rock. I told them the other day, probably this week I'll be there last. Little part of next week. We're working on trying to get another spot for them. Keep them moving. It's a pretty good setup with them. They move a lot of dirt in the day's time. But they don't like the rain. It's that scenario where you basically hook a trailer to a truck and try to drag it through the mud. It's just tough. They don't like it. They don't like the muddy roads.
Rock?
Is 750,000 yards of rock. We did a drone topo last week and it was 600,000 yards we moved in a month.
Really? Yeah.
The scrapers were, they add a lot to it. They were moving 10,000 yards a day by themselves.
Yeah, that's chunky.
Yeah.
Where are you guys out of?
We have an office in Dahlonega, Georgia, Fayetteville, Georgia, Birmingham, and Huntsville.
So all these hands these are all operated rentals?
No, the only thing that we're, the guy on the 950 and the scrapers, all the rest of them work for us.
Is that right?
Yeah. Yeah, it's a busy job site. We're supposed to start the pipe in a couple weeks.
Oh, is there a pretty good sized pipe on this job?
there's a lot of it. It goes from 48 inch, 54 inch to down to 24 inch.
It's a pretty good size hoe.
Yeah. Yeah, I was telling him I haven't been on the 395 yet, but I was on the 390s, and it's definitely comparable to that. I know Morgan had 2 of them up there at the gold mine, and
oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
No, those are the Volvo excavators. They're pretty tight. Yeah. I think they start to. I've heard there's issues once they get a few thousand hours on them.
And I mean,
that's not your problem.
Well, I think everything does.
Yeah.
I think, you know, that's why I always tell everybody they're all nice when they're new.
Yeah.
It's when they put, especially in conditions like this, put 5,000-6,000 hours on it, and then tell me how much you like it.
Sure.
You know, when you've spent thousands and thousands of dollars on maintenance repairs or downtime because of warranty issues.
Does it drink death?
Yes, we're drinking about 400 gallons of DEF a week right now out of everything out here, and our fuel is about 10 to 12,000.
The biggest excavator out here is a Volvo 950, brand new. It's from Romco, the equipment company out of Texas that serves Volvo equipment. So they sent out the pans, scrapers, and the excavator all the way from Texas. Beautiful machine. The only issue with this job is a lot of it's rock. So the scrapers are stripping all the easy stuff. They're just about done. The Volvo has been digging through the rock. They've been out here for about 5 weeks now. They're still getting the pattern and the blasting dialed in. So when I was out there, it was pretty chunky. It's not exactly production style digging. To explain, typically when you're blasting, you want to turn it to sugar is one of the terms I've heard. In a mining environment, the rock is pretty consistent once they get deeper and deeper and deeper. So they can get a pattern and a powder factor there that gets that blast, that fragmentation pretty consistent. So you can dig it very easily. And you want to dig it very easily because blowing it up is a lot cheaper than trying to load chunky stuff and throwing it through a crusher and letting the crusher chew it up. Problem with a site like this is you're digging rock that sometimes has been weathered or is inconsistent. So when you're blasting it, you can't always get it dialed in where it's just turning it to that sugar. You're gonna get a lot of different chunky, weird stuff, especially when you start. So that's what they're doing right now. He said they're messing with their pattern, which is the spacing between holes that they drill, and to see if that's gonna do them any better. But reality is, if it's chunky like that, you just gotta dig through it. So we saw there was a lot of footage. I'm sure there's gonna be a lot of footage, at least a lot of my pictures like this, where it was digging through, trying to cast the rocks off to the side. The rocks are getting hauled off, and then they'll get broken up by a hammer before the rock's thrown into the fill. So that's what's going on here. Just a commercial job. So thanks for tuning in, everybody.